When I'm an offstage marionette en route to a venue, head nodding in a suitcase, hair forgotten in front and centre, peripheral vision and window dressing, long as uncle's stories and as in need of a trim. When steering myself towards happiness as all the brevity and clarity is the Claremont X-Men run, and I can't tell what universe I've stepped into, but it's not the one I grew up in. When all that's on my side is the fact I'm still in it. A friend of mine jumped off a building. He asked me, "What's your secret?" The only answer I had to give him was making promises. When I can lower the bar for feeling loved to receiving a smile from a barista and feeling strong to knowing I can handle myself against a man so bored he's driven to violence with a broken pint glass. When the strings are cut and I'm limp beneath the curtain, scared I won't get up before the show starts, staring at his face in a crumpled t-shirt on my chair and his frame standing in the shadows of my room, and all that stops me from searching is the sky turning pale. When London's last 6 months have as much light and colour as the Bendis Daredevil run, and I send her a letter of complaint to the editor-in-chief in regards to all these characters I've spent years in love with being subjected to such cheap plot twists. When there's a pinball rattling up top, twitchy fingers waiting for the drop. When I can't get back across the 8-foot gate separating a park full of dog shit and the play centre I grew up in. When summer was ball games and photosynthesis and it had all the drama and emotion of the 90s X-Men cartoons where every revelation brought screams, tears and rage. When I called Desiree to tell her Joseph might not make it through the night and the loudest thing I have in my head is "don't cry." When the worst parts of me are where I search for strength from within. A friend of mine took too many pills because he was ill, not sick. Sometimes hip-hop is all that separated me from him, that will to win. When the knife was only meant to make a statement and the drink was only meant to loosen him up and the weed was only meant to calm him down. When the boy turns from man to snake to boy again. When a woman isn't a person but a property and free will feels like a robbery. When the lactic acid build-up shifts from the joints in my knees after a midnight run to sentences with his name and mental health buzzwords like funerals end but eulogies don't. How come every time I've talked to someone they tell me to talk to someone? When I was given all the comic books I gave him and he didn't touch the ones about depression because who would look at pictures of a brick wall while in prison? When I did make a difference, it's just that the scales were different. When the past year's been a disappointing album that followed the most incredible mixtape. When Pitchfork gives the album I cried listening to a 5.8. When I look between London's sharpest teeth, devouring all the space I could have found a sunset in is filled with boys on Pegasus peds, caught in the sensation of flight, of speed, like falling, but upwards like fuck-ups, with benefits, all that street time trickling into a mortgage and trust fund for their children. When they see me, they smile. I smile right back, spuds all round. I'm Superman now.